Welcome, fresh students, to the College for Distance and E-Learning of the University of Education, Winneba. My name is Charles ATO HINSON. I'm the head of the Student Records Office. As a distance student, your requirements are a little different from the full-time students on campus. I'm here to take you through a few of the important aspects of your study as a student. Mainly, we are in charge of your student data, and we also engage in other activities to assist in your academic journey. First of all, we'd like you to note that the university will give you index numbers. These are unique numbers that are identifiable to you only. It is more important than your name. When you pay your fee, the system generates an index number, and you are expected to use this number for your examination. You quote the number on all official letters that you write to the college. You use the index number for your registration, for examination, and also to check your results and access university electronic systems. You make sure you memorize them and you code them on all official documentation. In fact, it's even more important than your name when you come to the university. You also need them to access university resources such as emails, your portal, and also learn to keep your passwords private. In your portals, you have a display of the information the university has when you are applying. Your name, your program of study, your date of birth, your contact details. You have access to this in your portal. Go through them and make sure they are all correct. And where you have any discrepancies, please contact the university immediately. In such a case, you need to contact your study center administrator or coordinator. You put it into writing, and then the management of CODeL will take a decision on it. And upon approval, the Student Records Office will effect the correction, after which you will be informed. Under no circumstance are you to change a program on your own or by just informing the coordinator or the administrator at the study center. When you do that, you have problems with your results and ultimately your graduation. Alternatively, we also have a system for distance students to enable you lodge your complaints called the request tracker. Your study center administrators will introduce you to them. You will also be required to register your courses every semester. And by registration, we require you to register under your program, your level, and the specific courses you are taking. If you are not taking any course, please don't register it. And when you realize you made a mistake, contact your study center administrator or coordinator who will help in resolving such an issue. Where it is difficult for them to resolve, they will in turn forward that request to the SRO, who will then effect the correction on your behalf. Registration is online, and this is to enable you have seamless integration with the university. You don't need to travel to the main campus in Winneba to effect your registration or any other procedures. Registration is by a deadline, and the requirement is you should have paid your fee in full or by a certain percentage. Make sure you adhere to this directive strictly. Only the courses you've registered in will be examinable by you. If you don't register a course, you can't sit for a paper. Late or incorrect registration might attract penalties. So if the deadline elapsed and you had not registered, you may be required to pay a fine before you be able to register your courses. In such a case, contact your coordinator administrator who advise you on the proper procedure to take, and then you can effectively have you registered. You also have the opportunity to carry a University of Education student identification card. This will bear your index number, your official name as the university has, your program of study, as well as your study center. In the event that any of the information on your ID card should change, you need to contact CODeL by writing officially so that the correction is effected for you. Otherwise, as you go along your academic journey, you may encounter problems along the way. When your ID card gets missing, you need to obtain a police report, pay the appropriate fee, and you'll be issued with a replacement. Under examinations, this is where we have major issues regarding our students. Make sure you quote your index number correctly. If you don't, that is the first stage where you will start having issues with results. Secondly, on your ID card, you have a study center. That is where the university knows you study and expects you to write an exam. If for any reason you can't write in the study center, the university has made provision for it. Make sure you inform your study center coordinator, and you also inform the study center coordinator for the new center you wish to just write the exam. For instance, if you've been deployed to another town and there's an exam to be written, it will be difficult for you to go to your primary study center. You can write at the center closest to you, but make sure you inform the coordinator so that they do the appropriate labeling. We can track your scores in that manner. Also, make sure that your index number is quoted correctly. I've mentioned this a couple of times because it's most important. Courses that you do not register, make sure you don't sit for any exam. If you do that, there will be nowhere for your score to be kept. And for that matter, you just lose that score. So make sure you only write exams for courses that you've registered. You also need to be mindful of examination malpractices. It was quite rampant. Now it has been curtailed. But in the examination room, you need to be cautioned that, as stipulated in the student handbook, once you are caught, there are very strict penalties for that. Results will be released online after approval by the college department and college board. It is only after the college board has approved that you see results. Before that, you will not see any results. About your final classification or class when you graduate. This is dependent on your CPGA, cumulative grade point average. This is determined by the grades you get throughout your academic journey. As we say, your class is determined by your first exam. If you fail to perform well at the start of your studies, you are bound to get a very bad class. And as we know, we all don't want any bad class. So from day one, be serious with your studies, get good grades, and you are assured of a good class at the end of your study. Each grade that you have has a grade point, and each grade point has a cumulative grade point average, and these are used in calculating your final GPA. You can consult the student handbook. You have a detailed example of how the CGPA is calculated. You should also know that there are penalties for bad performance. If you fail more than 2 courses, there are penalties for that. You could be expelled from the university. Likewise, if your CGPA is less than 1.0, the university regulation states that you should be expelled. So make sure you study hard and you perform at your best. Graduation and certification. You must satisfy all university conditions before you can graduate. 1, you have to write all the prescribed exams. You need to get all your grades in your portals. If by now you have not been introduced to it, you'll be introduced to your portal shortly. You have access to all your registered courses as well as your grades as and when you write exams. All these will be available to you so that you can track your own progression and be informed of how your class would end up eventually. So please be mindful. And once every score that you have is in your portal, then your graduation is assured within the shortest possible time. But when you have incomplete in your portal and you fail to report them, it becomes difficult to have you graduated and certified at the end of your program. So as you go along, monitor your scores, monitor your results in your portal, and whenever you see that there's a discrepancy or there's any lapse, promptly report to your center coordinator or administrator, and then that request will be forwarded to us. Alternatively, we have a system for reporting such issues for distance students. We call it the request tracker, where you can log on, create a ticket with your complaint. We look at it, and where we have resolution, we prefer it immediately. Where we need more information, we get back to you to get clarification on the issue as may be. So make full use of the university resources. They are all available to you for your comfort and to help you progress through your academic journey. And whenever you are in doubt or you have any difficulty, please get in touch and we'll promptly hear you out. So in conclusion, I wish to welcome you to the College for Distance and E-Learning. As a distance education student, know that there are various resources the university has made available to you just so that your journey in the institution will be quite smooth. Also, make sure there are rules and regulations as a student. Apprise yourself of them. You can have a copy of the student handbook on the university website. Go through them and make sure you don't flout any of the regulations. We also have systems that will aid you in your academic journey. Your portal, I've mentioned that, a university email, among others. You'll be introduced to them in due course. And please, whenever you are in doubt or you have any difficulty, contact your study center administrator or coordinator. Have a chat with them. Where the situation is beyond them, they'll forward it to the main campus and we'll take care of it. Thank you.